The Jlloyd Samuel documentary. Did you
I'm not
watch?
taking it in yet. I haven't taken
Okay.
it in yet, but I've done a little bit of a build on it. Come true, sibling.
Okay,
Yes.
Jlloyd Samuel, for those who do not know, was a Aston Villa Premier League defender, footballer, played for Aston Villa for the majority of his career. And sadly, he passed away in 2018 after a car crash. Now, Netflix have made a documentary, and this documentary is showing little bits of his life, bits of his career, but it's showing when he left the UK to move to Iran and play football. He had another family, had another wife, and things of that nature. But what was very interesting about this documentary for me is Jlloyd Samuel made a lot of money,
A
Noble.
lot.
A lot of money. Like, I'm talking, them footballers, even a low level Premier League footballer, with the right running management, like, you should be good forever. My man was like gambling, having a lot of money problems and all of that. You see what I'm saying? Like, from
You know
them
what?
days.
You know what though, Mark? Before you continue,
Yeah, man.
let me add, and you would know this based upon your closer interaction with, players and shit. That gambling thing, I don't know how it's promoted, but within that football fraternal order, I don't know whether they get some kind of preferential treatment at these places or whatnot. But that seems to be like going to the pub or something for these ballers. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Okay, let's just 10 wow. Let's bring that and let's have some fun with that, yeah. It seems part and part. Oh, you're a footballer. Yeah, man. 10 wow. We're going to go on a Thursday and we're going to do that there and let's see what it do.
13K, they said he blew in one day on gambling. But you know what it is? With the gambling thing, I've never ever really been able to grasp the concept of gambling, because I always believe that you're gambling to make money. So when a man's a rich footballer, I'm thinking, what are you gambling for? Is it the thrill of gambling because you've already got money? So
that's it.
Yeah, so what are you doing?
It's that whole process of this could be all gone or I'm up. And generally, when you get into that cycle of gambling addicts from small to large, that it's not winning, it's taking part. It's the participation with the expectation of winning. But when you win and you're up, you don't leave because you want to feel that rush of, am I going to win? Am I going to lose? So then at these casinos are 24 hours a day. So once you're dehydrated enough or you've had enough food and all that, and you spent your 13K, at that point, the realism, the cognitive part of your brain kicks in and says, wait a minute, you've just lost 13,000. Get the F out of here, man. What are you doing? And then they leave. That's a cycle, sibling.
Crazy.
Risk reward.
I used to see him about, that Jlloyd Samuel, so it's sad, man. But even with the two family situation, I always thought to myself, when footballers move, like a footballer will move, like, he'll be in Newcastle for 2 years, and then he'll move to Sheffield for 2 years, and then he'll move to Coventry for a year. I've always thought, like, especially a man who's got children and stuff, like, how do you do it? Because you're going to have to move them schools and do all of that. So the family thing didn't really surprise me. The second family thing didn't really surprise me still, because based on, when I watch them kind of documentaries, and any man who watches it, what you need to do when you watch it is look at the body language of the two wives.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the body language. The second one loved him hard, the Iranian one.
Yeah.
She could barely speak about him without tearing up. Sad situation.
Very sad, man. But in playing righteous advocate, things happen, man. Things happen, and that unwavering, alleged, and so-called unconditional love, which people profess and have, once the conditions are put in or put on, or once that hurts can't be sort of repaired, you're now talking a very different person, aren't we? Hence, you're talking about the body language and stuff. Like
Yeah.
she could have, anything could have happened, anything, and you people grow apart after a period of time. Unfortunately, it can happen. Justly, it doesn't happen, but it does happen a lot, man. You grow up as people, money changes people, careers change people, life itself changes people. So it's a real interesting one, man.
Yeah, definitely. Because the situation with him, you got to think to yourself, when I'm watching this documentary, I'm listening to his first wife talking, and she's like, he cheated on me, I cheated on him. I was like, yeah, that's going to be difficult to come back from.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? But then at the same time, them young footballers definitely need some sort of financial coaching, or it's just a shame because a lot of that class of Villa players are all broke now.
Mm.
Even when you look at guys like the old school man, Lee Hendry, and
Oh.
man's like that. A lot of them, was that his name, Lee Hendry? Used to see him around and that. Used to see him. I think he was from Warsaw or somewhere like that. But my man now, even him, he was making 30K a week, and then he got suicidal and all the money. So I'm thinking these football teams, the same way how you go into a football training facility and they've got a canteen, a masseuse,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
strength and conditioning coach. They need a little office in there that when people start to get money, they invest it or they know what to do. Because there was a part quickly, Noble, that she was listing off. She was saying, yo, he was making 20 grand a month
Mm.
and the mortgage was 17 grand a month. That's crazy. But you got to remember, when you pay a man that kind of money, if you start giving a man, she said he went from 4 bills, no, £100 a week to like 7 grand a week. So you got to think of that jump. When it's coming like that, you're not going to be thinking about when it stops coming.
Wow. For someone who's like a teenager or something, or what? Because what do you mean? I don't know about that statement, Mark. I get what you're saying, but that's not the right. That is a wasteful way of thinking. If you've been able to sustain yourself with £100 a week, and all of a sudden you want £7,000 a week, the minimum of half of that should be going into savings at a minimum, sibling, because you've sustained yourself without that £6,900. So what are we doing? We're keeping up with the Joneses. We're fulfilling fantasies and ideas, and we're looking at the influence of the entertainment and the media and the magazines and your brethrens who are driving around in the least Lambo or a thing. You know what I mean? Man ain't buying those things because they want it immediately. So I'm aware of how compulsory this is, but they do have financial money management within this, especially these young players getting signed for all this money. They it goes part of it's a duty of care, man. This is a duty of care. They're giving these young children, generally from disimpoverished backgrounds, access to all of this money and fame. They can't just do that without giving them a little bit of a guidance. Whether they take it or not, Mark, it's down to them. But you'll be a fool. I can't excuse that.